redo sim series. It is now 16 weeks into the season, and we have an epic week 17 ahead of you. But quickly, let's just do a quick recap of week 16. Saints took care of the Vikings 24-21. San Francisco, big win over the Cardinals. That pretty much seals the Cardinals' fate as not making the playoffs. 21-20, Carolina stays hot, beats the Washington football team. This one, I actually watched it happen live because I wanted to see what happened. Pittsburgh won on a last-second field goal from Chris Boswell. The Colts got all the way back down. With 3 seconds left, Rodrigo Blankenship missed a 54-yard field goal that would have tied. Chiefs get a big win, again, barely over the Falcons. Buccaneers beat up on the Lions. Broncos get a win over the Chiefs. How about the Raiders? 49 points putting up on the Dolphins. Again, on my sim, the Browns won 36-14. It was like 31-10. It was pretty close to the actual score, so that's pretty exciting. This one, again, was a tough one for Ravens fans. We watched this one happen live on Kit's sim. This one ended up 35-31, which is actually pretty close to the win we had on Kit's system as well. Texans beat the Bengals, so they are no longer in the running in the north, but the Texans stay alive and pretty firmly cemented into that wild card picture. Bears beat the Jags. Seahawks beat the Rams to stay near the top of the NFC. Dallas is going to go ahead and clinch, I think, the NFC East now with this win over the Eagles. And the Packers beat the Titans. We watched that one a little bit earlier today. And then the Patriots take care of the Bills. So let's quickly take a look at the standings after 16 weeks of play here. Oops, we'll do the stats in a minute. After 16 weeks in the AFC North, it is still a two-way tie now. They're going to need some help. If one of these teams loses, there may still be a possibility for the Ravens at 9-7 to get into the playoffs. But Browns and Steelers, winner is going to win the division. No tiebreaker needed at that point. So it's going to be an epic Week 17 matchup. In the AFC South, Colts and look, the Texans at 10-5 have clinched, so they are definitely in. They cannot not make the playoffs, so that's good for them. Patriots are in. Nobody else will make it from the East. And the Chiefs are in, and the Raiders are going to be sitting there right there watching what happens with the Browns, Steelers, and Ravens. In the NFC, again, I do not think that the Bears have the ability to, but the Packers are definitely clinched and headed potentially for a one-way ticket to the Super Bowl if they keep playing like they played today. Panthers are going to win that division. Buccaneers are going to be real close here for a wild card. Cowboys will win the division. No one else from that division will advance. 13-2 and 10-5 have both advanced. I think the Cardinals are going to be on the outside looking in. So there are the quick power rankings. Again, we've talked about most of that. Let's just take a quick look at the playoff picture, shall we? So here's where we're at after 16 weeks. Right now, if it all ended today, the Browns would be the second wild card, or the third wild card team. There you can see the Raiders and the Texans we know are already in. So it's going to be Steelers, Raiders, Texans, and then Ravens fighting for 3 spots. So it's going to be pretty nutty here, this Week 17 action. Here is what the NFC currently looks like, because it's been 16 weeks and we've done it after each of the other quarters of the season. Let's take a quick look again at our official stats for the year. These will be the ones that we have been using all along. So we will start with the entirety of the NFL just because we can. Baker Mayfield continues to lead the NFL in passing with 4,900 yards. Aaron Rodgers second with 43. So again, on my sim particularly, he's just been throwing the ball all over the yard. He has the most completions, but does not even have the most attempts. He has the second most attempts behind Phillip Rivers. Passing touchdowns, however, he does not lead. Derek Carr, 41 of them. Then Cam Newton, Herbert, Rodgers, Breeze, Watson, Wilson, and then Mayfield at 28. And again, this is the category we've just really been frustrated with all year. 21 picks for Baker, tying him with Darnold for the worst. Tua at 20, and the Dolphins have been terrible, and then 20 for Josh Allen, part of the reason that they have struggled. So, but look at that, 77%. So let's again go back to the top passers in the league. We'll do it this way. Baker at 77, Aaron Rodgers at 71, kind of leading at the top. So he's by far and away having one of the best years of any quarterback. Here's another stat that we've been really trying to get rid of. Tua sacked the most, then Smith, then Roethlisberger, Rivers, Herbert, Stafford, Garoppolo, Jones, than Baker Mayfield. So he's at least come down a little bit. They've shored up a little bit of some of those shuffle sacks. How about running the football? Josh Jacobs is your NFL rushing leader, and he is at 1,400 yards. 1,368 for Henry, Zeke's at 1,175 for Jones, McCaffrey, Cook, Barkley, Mostert, Kamara, Mixon, and Nick Chubb. Look at that, sitting at exactly 1,000 yards on the season. How about them apples going into Week 17? There's some others. Where's Kareem at? Kareem's down here at 589, so 1,589 rushing yards between the two of them here so far. And again, we've really tried to do what we can to shore up that statistic in terms of getting them to run the ball the appropriate amount of times. Leading carriers, Kyler Murray, as you might imagine, in terms of yardage, but then there he is right there, Josh Jacobs. So having a really good season carrying the football is Josh Jacobs. Running touchdowns, again, continue to be led by Mike Davis, Jones, Fournette, Henry, Mostert, Gus Edwards, Tony Pollard, Edwards-Helaire, Chubb, McCaffrey, Kamara, Brian Hill. So lots of players kind of right there in the middle. How about fumbles? Most fumbles on the season, Baker Mayfield. Ooh, if we don't want to see that one. How about most for running back? It's the rookie Cam Edwards and Chris Thompson. How about broken tackles? 59 for Mixon, 53 for, excuse me, Jacobs, 53 for Henry, 51 at 48. But you can see that Chubb did that with 16 less carries and 36 less carries than those top guys, and 22 less carries. So who knows? He could tie it if he wanted to. Receiving, how about catches? Let's go ahead and start here. We know a lot of tight ends are going to be up there. How about Trey Burton? 108 catches. Funchess is going to be second. Will Fuller, CJ Uzama. There's Hooper. There's Kittle, Keenan Allen, Beckham at 86, Landry, Michael Thomas. So a lot of guys could have some big weeks here and flirt with over 100 catches. Receiving leaders in terms of yardage, it is Beckham with 1195, tied with Hop at 1195. Look at those two, neck and neck. How about receiving touchdowns? 15 of them for Odell Beckham. Again, he had 3 in the last week's game against the Jets on my version of the sim, so that helped out a lot. Tyrell Williams. Again, we know that Derek Carr leads the league in throws. We get drops? I guess we don't get drops here. All right, defensively speaking, how about tackles? We're going to start with Jayon Brown. There's B.J. Goodson, second in the NFL in tackles. He's about to hit 100 solo tackles. There's Eric Kendricks, Bobby Okereke, Fred Warner, Vince Williams. So right there in kind of the middle of where everybody else should be. Sack leaders again. There he is, Myles Garrett, 33. So he has the NFL record. There's Chandler Jones at 20. And there's no stopping Myles now. We'll see what kind of impact he can have against Big Ben in Week 17 and maybe push that thing a little bit further. And I see some of you are commenting, and I don't have my phone up, so I have no idea what you're saying, so I apologize in advance. But I hope everybody's doing okay. Interception leaders, 8 for Tre'Davious White, 8 for Desmond King, 8 for Adoree Jackson. So that Titans defense has been very, very successful. And there's Deion Jones, middle linebacker, and then Jordan Hicks, Pat Peterson. How about Carl Joseph for us with 5 as well? I'll do pass deflections too. That's kind of a fun stat. 14 for Greedy Williams. There you go. Shaq Griffin just became a Jaguar as well. So only because we're curious about how the rest of our team is doing. Let's take a quick gander at the rest of the Browns statistics. We'll start here and stay with defense. Carl Joseph getting a boatload of tackles. There's Money Mitch, rip Money Mitch into Houston now. There's Grant Delpit having just a stellar rookie campaign, 89 tackles, an interception, a couple of pass deflections as well. Ronnie Harrison, 85 tackles. There's Greedy. Then you have Myles Garrett. Then you have Denzel, KJ, and on down the line. TFLs. In addition to the sacks, Myles also has 11 TFLs. Goodson and Joseph and Richardson and Vernon right there. How about sacks for our team? Specifically 33 for Myles, 13.5 for Vernon, 12 for Lario, 10 for Richardson. So how about everybody on the defensive line getting to double-digit sacks? That's pretty fun. Interceptions, Denzel. Wait, where was he on the list? I don't know why. He was on the list, but he's got 7. And if he has a good game against the Steelers, he could become an X factor, which would be pretty exciting. Pass deflections, the leader for the Browns is Denzel as well with 20 forced fumbles. is going to be Miles. Oh, excuse me, Sheldon with 3. I thought Miles had a couple strip sacks. I was wrong. Fumbles recovered. And then defensive touchdowns. They have just the 1 from Sheldon Richardson. For the remainder of the receiving core, here you can see them. Beckham, Landry with 86. So 86 for Landry and Beckham. How about that for spread it out? Landry a chance to both of them get over 1,000 yards. Actually, all 3 of them could get over 1,000 yards, which would be nuts. Then you have Chubb and Hunt and Higgins as well. Receiving touchdowns, again, it's mostly been Beckham. Next highest person is 4 for Hooper. So when they get into the red zone, part of the reason that maybe they're having trouble closing out some of these games is some lack of depth getting them into receiving touchdown position. And lastly, running the ball, we already talked about that, 152. And then passing the ball, we already talked about as well. So appreciate everybody being on again. It's been a lot of fun. Just take a super quick little gander. Cam Newton right now is your league MVP. How about that, with Pete Carroll as your coach of the year? In the AFC, you're looking at Derek Carr, Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, clearly Defensive Player of the Year. Herbert's going to be Rookie of the Year, probably. Logan Wilson, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Then you got Derek Carr again. Henry ahead of Jacobs and Chubb. And then you got Beckham, and then you got Schwartz, and then Garrett again, and then Von Miller, and then Desmond King, and then good old Justin Tucker as well. So that's going to do it for here for Nagy on Sports, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day again. And our Week 17 epic Browns-Steelers matchup will be coming up just as soon as Kit and I can get it organized into our schedules. That's going to be a big one, 9-6 versus 9-6. So take care of yourselves, have a great day, and as always, go Browns!